All right, my friends, this is Ruben Obed here, doing a live video here on YouTube. And the purpose of this video is to talk a little bit about solar and about a solar fridge that I just got made part of my system. Now, I'm going to show you guys. Right now, I opted to get a 110 volt hair fridge. Okay, this is the fridge that you could pick up for $100 at Walmart, and it is not a 12 volt fridge. Okay, now as you can see right in there, 1.5 amps. So this is like a 80 watt fridge, right? So I was thinking, and I actually knew this beforehand, but I was willing to make the calculated risk. What happens is, look, I have a right here. This is my battery bank. This is 516 amp hours. These batteries are in parallel, right? This is a separate battery. These are separate batteries for other stuff that I do. And I'm running on two inverters, 750 watt inverter. So in theory, you would think that this inverter, 750 watts inverter that has a peak of like maybe I believe 1200, it would be enough to run this fridge. Well, guys, the truth is it is not. Okay, it is not. Because what happens is with refrigerators is even though this fridge may be 60 to 80 watts, refrigerators that are 110 volts, they have a surge, a very big surge. And when they start for the first second or so. So this little fridge that even though it says 1.5 amps, on startup, just to get the compressor kicking in, it'll be at least 1500 watts. You know what I'm saying? Just to start it, okay, just for 1 second. So you need an inverter that can handle that 1500 or more startup surge, okay? And this isn't cutting it. And that is a modified sine wave inverter. So AC motors like that of fridge don't really like modified wave, signals, sine waves. So what happens is, in order for me to be able to effectively run this off of solar, which I do have enough solar power. I mean, I have on the roof 510 watts of solar. I have 17 solar panels on the roof. And I have an array. The array is of 500. Right now, if you notice right here on my MT50, my batteries are at 13.7, which are totally charged. My solar panels are putting out 14.6 amps. And if you look here right now, I have a load on, a 200 watt load. Now you're saying, damn, I have a 200 watt load, yet it's not even making a dent on my battery. It's not even bringing them down. Why? Because I'm getting a lot of power from my panels. Now I'm going to show you what is running. What is that 200 watt load? And that 200 watt load right now is this entire recording studio. All right, got the TVs, the cameras, the laptop, the lights, air conditioner that's not running off. So but this is the 200 watt load. So right now I can run my entire recording studio off of solar, which is really, really good, and off of that 750 watt inverter. But what happens is, when you talk about the refrigerator, well, the refrigerator is a different story. Now, going back to it, if I purchase a 1500 to 2000 watt inverter at the moment, all I got to do is either take that off or just put an inverter here on the side connected to the system that will be able to run this fridge 24/7, okay, off of the sun, which is excellent. That's what the goal that I'm trying to reach. So right now, like I was showing you, that 200 watt load isn't making a dent. My batteries, let me tell you guys, a full battery, a very full battery, is 12.6. Batteries go all the way up to 14.4 when they're charging. And right now, my batteries are at 13.7. So in other words, that entire recording studio is running for free. no, for free off of this little system right here. All right. So these are 6 deep cycle batteries running in parallel to give me a total of 516 amp hours. All right. Over there, that is just a regular car battery that you're not supposed to use that for solar. I'm just using that. That was like the very first one I ever bought. And I just have it there, maybe run little things, charge phones and stuff. This is another deep cycle battery. And this one is, 210 reserve capacity. This is about a 120 amp hour battery. And that one's running off of this 410 watt inverter. This is just like an emergency one, or if we get like a little power outage for an hour or so, I probably will run things off of this first. And that 410 watt inverter can more than handle the load that I have on it right now. If you see right here on my multimeter, on a kilowatt meter, right now the studio's 200 watts. It's pulling 1.9 amps. All right, now this is one thing that I want to talk about. Right now it's in amps. It's 2 amps. Right now that's what the studio is pulling, 2 amps. Now, what happens is that's 2 amps, but that is 2 amps at 120 volts. This is a 12 volt system. So when you have a 12 volt system, you have to do the conversion. You have right now a 2 amp load. You got to put that decimal point down. You got to multiply it times 10 because it's a 12 volt system. So right now, that studio is pulling 20 amps, 20 DC amps. So if it's 2 amps of 110 volts or 120, out of the batteries, you're pulling 20 amps. So right now, there's 20 amps coming out of these batteries to maintain that studio on. Okay, and the same applies. But out of those 20 amps, right now on the charge controller, the sun itself, right now at 11:30, it's not even peak hour, it's giving me 14.6 amps. So really, I'm running the studio off of 5 amps. Now, what happens is this. It's like, why isn't this covering the entire 20 amps that it's work? What happens is, it can't give me the 20 amps because the battery's full. But if the batteries were more empty, the sun would be giving me upwards of 28 amps. So you know what I mean? So right now, the studio is practically running for free. The batteries are supplying all the power, and the sun is putting back what the studio load is sucking up. Okay? So now let's go back to the refrigerator. So the refrigerator right here, as we go back and we'll make the same analogy, it's 1.5 amps at 115 VAC, 1.5 amps. So what we do, we move the decimal point again. So this, in theory, this refrigerator from my 12 volt system would be drawing 15 amps, which, as you see here, my solar system is providing 14.6, which is more than enough to run this refrigerator, 24 hours a day for free. You see what I'm saying, guys? So that's basically it. So right now, you got these refrigerators, which are like the Dometic 12 volt fridges. Those are like $200-300, and they're wonderful and they're great. I couldn't afford one. I bought this one. It's $100, and I'm still gonna need to make the investment in the pure sine wave inverter, a 2000 or 1500 or 2000 watt one, to be able to run this. Because what happens is, when this kicks in with the surge, which is going to be like a 1500 watt surge, that's too much for that inverter. Now, if that surge did not exist, yes, this would be more than enough to run the refrigerator. And that's the mistake that I made initially, because I thought that, I thought that I could have pulled it off with this inverter, but I can't, Anyways, so if you want to see it, and that's my charge controller, the EP Ever Tracer 30 amp, and this is my system. All right. Now, that's my charger right there. That's the car charger. Basically, I use that to charge the big battery bank. Okay, this charger or maintainer, they're all maintainers. So when it says maintainer, that means they are the maintainers. You can leave them on 24/7 and they don't overcharge your battery. They're microprocessor controlled, and you can leave them plugged in. Like right now, you see these clips. That's the charger. And once the battery's full, it just turns off. you know so this is charging it. That is charging the big system, and that little car battery has another little charger here on the side. Let me show it to you guys. And that is charging. You see, that's charging that little car battery. Now, that's basically the whole purpose of that is when you have grid power, then your solar system can be topped off from the grid. If the power goes out, then you're running off your batteries. If the power never comes back, then you're charging from the sun, directly from the solar panels. Or worst case scenario, if there's no sun, then you have to turn the little generator on. So I got two of these 1,000-watt generators, and I got my stock of 2-cycle oils and stuff. So I'm gonna try to go upstairs so you guys can see, the entire system. So I'm gonna show you all the solar panels. Bear with me. And these are the solar panels that I have. I've showed them before in other videos, but I wanted to, do this video to show the whole thing. All right. Okay. So this is right here. This is my solar array. My solar array consists of 17 30-watt panels. All right. I got these from Mighty Max Solar. And the reason why I bought these is because, and not bigger ones, is because I get free shipping on these in here in Puerto Rico, and basically a watt is a watt. So, why pay more in shipping when I could just get a smaller panel and just link them up in parallel. So this system right here, this array, is giving me 510 amp hours at the present time. Okay, I'm gonna expand it two more panels, which will be actually the limit, the input limit on my charge controller, which is 580. So if I put two more panels, I'll be at 570. But that would be the limit of that charge controller. And these two cheapo thin solar panels, I got these from China. They're not too good. Hey, hello to Jane Cologne. All right, somebody else there, Pro Life, hello. And these little panels right here, that's just a charge. That's one of those Anchor power things that to charge cell phones, but I put it up here. It's been up here for like almost 2 years, and they still work to charge phones. So I just ran a cable all the way inside the house. I leave that thing on there 24/7, and that's one of them foldable padded ones. But this is my system. Okay, that's a DIY combiner box that I made out of a phone, like an old phone thing, and I put 2 bus bars in it. I'm not gonna open it up because I don't have the scissors to cut the little zip tie, but and I have them laying on concrete blocks. Okay, and they're zip tied, and they're fastened. They're well fastened there. But every time I get a solar panel, I just get another nice little concrete block and just add it. So I'm gonna add 2 more, and that should be the system, completed system. In order for me to add more panels, I would have had to now, like once I get the other 2 solar panels, I would have to buy another MPPT charge controller and add that to the system, and then I could make another line of panels. Either that or change my system to a 24-volt system, which I don't want to do. I'll be honest, I don't want to go up to 24 volts. Because then I have to get a 24-volt inverter. Then the chargers that I have, which charge 12 volts, they don't charge 24 volts. So then, in order to charge my batteries, I'd have to disconnect them and charge them individually. It would be a mess, and I'm not up for that. So that's what my system is looking like right now. Let me hope I don't fall. Let me come down the steps here. But that's basically that's a DIY system. Okay, that's my cistern. This is another DIY project that I'm doing right now with this cistern, and I'm gonna add a whole house filter. This system right here is a rainwater harvesting system. So when it rains, the water falls down through here and it collects in this tank, and it has some pumps. I still need to do what they call the first flush system, which basically it deviates the water from the roof, and it deviates, and the first dirty water would come out over here. But I'm still working on that. This is like a work in progress. But that's my cistern right now, and how I have that going, still looking a little bit ghetto. But that's what I'm doing in terms of solar. And then I'm gonna show you guys. I know I've showed it before, but right here, this is my other thing. My shed is a little messy, but I have about 1,500 bottles. All right, 1,500 bottles of clean water saved up. I got water there. This one's 500 gallons. That one's another. I don't know how many gallons that is, but basically it's if the shit hits the fan, man, I have water, clean water. So basically that's what I'm doing, guys. And so right now I ran into the hurdle of the inverter, that I currently can't run my little fridge off of that inverter. So I gotta make some money to get a new inverter. So if any of my friends and sponsors want to help me out to get the inverter. Right now the inverter the inverter costs like 150. I found a really good deal on a 2,000 watt, 4,000 watt peak inverter. So if anybody wants to help me out, my PayPal link will be in the description. And I'm kind of trying to raise some funds to be able to run this fridge. Right now I have it off of the house power, but like I said, guys, I started doing all of this after Hurricane Maria. This is a little 12 volt cooler. All right, this does run off of 12 volts. All right, so but like I said, I started doing this stuff after Hurricane Maria, little by little, with the money I've earned. And you see right here, here's 12 volt plug on that. This is a thermal fridge. This doesn't have a compressor, but it's good to cool up cans and stuff, juices and stuff. But this is a real fridge with a compressor. And so yeah, I mean, right now I'm really happy with my system. I'm really happy with it. And right now I'm pulling still at 14.6. Solar panels are keeping up really good with the load that I have them on. And so let me go back and show you again. This is my work area, my recording studio. These are my studio cameras that I use to record, my board. That's my laptop. Here's my keyboard. All right, that's my sign. I made that. That's my drone that I use for work, for recording footage, aerial footage. And this is like my other back of the recording studio. This is like my green screen recording, but then it has like a little pantry there, for end of the world survival. You know what I'm saying? Here we got the these are MREs actually, guys. These are survivalist MREs. These are more like consumer type MREs. Self-heating meal. I have a whole bunch of those in case of an emergency. A couple of canned stuff. I need to build this up better. Because it's a lot of times I build it up and then I see some chili, and then I eat it. So I need to get my pantry up in shape. But this is like my area, my little storage area. And over here I got my tools, stuff that you might need for emergencies. Sterno, ropes. You know what I mean? My power tools. In case of an emergency. Right now, you see this right here? I found this bad boy in the trash a couple days ago. Found it in the trash, and it didn't have a cable. Somebody cut the cable, and then when I opened it up, it turns out that the cable wasn't the problem. Is that it came out of the resistor. So I put this extension cord, which is 16 gauge, or can more than it. It can handle these. This is what, 11 amps. Yeah, 11 amps. 16 gauge cable will handle 11 amps like nothing. It'll handle. So there you go. I got a brand new saw that I found in the trash. So that's what I'm doing, guys. This is a little bit of my prepping. Oh, and by the way, these little lights that you see up there, they're solar. They're like these little solar panels that I have on the roof. I didn't show you guys. They're really small, but I use them to power them little LED bulbs and stuff. And so basically, that's what I'm doing, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm not an expert on solar. I've been doing this DIY. And so I've made my mistakes. Down this solar power journey, if you want to call it. So that's what's going on. So as of right now, I am very happy with my system. I'll give you guys a last little look of my system. All right. If you look at from the top, okay, all of these are in parallel with 4-gauge cable, 6 deep cycle marine batteries. Now, let me tell you something about these batteries. And I know some people are going to tell me, oh, these are deep cycle batteries, but these are really RV batteries. These are 12-volt batteries. They are not true deep cycle batteries, okay? Now, what happens is true deep cycle batteries are usually like the 6-volt batteries that golf carts have, but these are relatively inexpensive. I got them for like maybe 110 a piece, and these, for my purposes, they work real good. But I just want to make, because there's a lot of people out there who do solar. Like, oh, those are hybrid batteries. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. You know what I'm saying? But for my purposes, they work fine. And if I need a new battery, I can just go to Advanced Auto Parts and pick one up really quick. It's up the street from my house. So, but I am well aware that these are not like the true deep cycle batteries. But, I made a conscious choice to get this because I found that it was cheaper and more practical, at least for my purposes. But, if you can get real deep cycle batteries, do so, because it's worth the investment. But in my particular situation, this was a better thing for me. These charge controller right here, EP Ever Tracer MPPT. This is true MPPT, guys. These aren't fake, and they're inexpensive. This one was like $100, 30 amps, 30 amp charge controller. And so basically that's my system, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, man, to my friends and followers, if y'all want to help a brother out to try to get the inverter that I need to be able to run my fridge, I'd appreciate it, guys, because I've been doing this for the last 2 years. Every little bit of money that I earn, it goes towards building this system. Because went to Hurricane Maria was horrible, man. Everything got destroyed. And being without power for a whole year is not easy. So, it taught me a lot of stuff. So anyway, guys, God bless and take care. And Ruben Obed, if you have any questions, if you're building a system, if I could be of any help, put you guys in the right direction, please let me know. I always write back. I always, talk to my followers. So, all right, guys, take care. God bless.